A very good afternoon to all the students who are present today for the lecture of second year BBA semester 3 for the subject Human Resource Management. I, Professor Shivangi Sethi, warmly welcome one and all. Now, I hope that you had attended the previous lecture for Human Resource Management, where we had started with the discussion on the very first unit, that is nothing but HRM. Now, before we move further with the new topic for the day, let me spend some time to give you a quick recap, a quick review of the topics we had already discussed in the previous lecture. So, students, please have a glance on the topics. In the previous lecture, before we began with the introduction of human resource management, I had given you an idea on what do you mean by human resource. I had told you very well that human resource is considered to be the most valuable asset for every business organization. I can say that all the other resources in an organization, whether it be land or building, plant or machinery, could be the raw materials that a business uses for production, would be of use only when you have skilled and efficient human resource to use the same. So while talking on human resource, we had understood one definition that human resources mean the total knowledge, skills, abilities, and the talent that is possessed by the organizational workforce. When we say organizational workforce, we mean by every individual who is working in the organization. Let it be an employee, let it be a manager, maybe a CEO, or maybe the board of directors, all comprise under the purview of human resource. Next, we had understood the meaning of human resource management, that is the concept of it, which is actually the name of the chapter as well as the subject. So over here, we had actually combined two terms together, one being human resource that you just studied, and the other being management that you have already studied even in the previous years. When I say management, we had talked about the managerial functions, could be planning, organizing, directing, controlling, and whatnot. So when those managerial functions are applied onto the human resource, or what we generally call even people management, is nothing but human resource management. So students, while performing human resource management, what is actually what a manager is doing? So we had understood it with the definition that while managing the human resource, out of all the other functions, a human resource manager will have to specifically work for procurement of the resources, that is acquiring the right human resource. That was to say, the right person to be acquired for the right job at the right time. After that, the task of the manager is also to retain, maintain the human resources in the organization. There should be no chance of employees to be leaving your organization and joining the rival organizations. Moreover, to develop the human resources by giving them training, necessary skill development should take place so that they help in the achievement of goals. But what were these goals? These goals were not only the organizational goals, but also the individual goals of an employee. So again, have a look at the definition we had studied. So human resource management was the process of accomplishing the organizational objectives, as I said, by acquiring the human resource, by retaining them, that is maintaining them in your organization, give them such an environment to work that they stay in the organization. They don't leave it in the long run. If they don't fulfill the rules, they don't fulfill the objectives of the organization, they don't work as expected, they can also be terminated. Most importantly, they have to be developed Their skills, their abilities, their talents have to be nurtured in an organization. And lastly, to use or manage them in such a manner that the objectives can be achieved. But as I said, human resource management pays attention to the skills of the employee. It also pays attention to the personal goals and problems of an employee. To understand the concept better, we had understood the characteristics of human resource management. Please have a glance to it very quickly. The next few characteristics that we had discussed in detail in the previous lecture. So moving on, in the previous lecture, we also discussed an important topic on the functions of human resource management, where I had very well told you that apart from the core HR functions, that is acquiring, retaining, developing the people, there are a number of other things, number of other functions too that a human resource manager has to perform. So the functions of human resource management, it could be number one, that is recruitment, selection, and appointment. So I had told you that the human resource manager has to work for the recruitment of employees, the scientific recruitment, recruiting the right person for the right post at the right time, selecting from the pool of employees received, and thereby appointing them in the organization. He needs to work for the taking of tests, examinations, interviews, and thereby selecting the best personnel for the organization. So that is again a function of HRM. Moving on, he also has to work for deciding and laying down the policies for promotion, demotion, transfer, also termination of the employees, as to how and when an employee can be promoted to a higher position, or he can be demoted to a lower position also. He can be transferred either from one branch to another branch, one department to another department, meaning to say could be an internal transfer or an external transfer. Lastly, if he does not abide by the rules and does not perform as expected from him, he can also be terminated. So the human resource manager has to keep the record for the same. Thirdly, very importantly, he has to work for the training of the employees. When I say training, he will have to work for the development of skills, the talents, the abilities of employees, because the environment we see is changing at a very great pace and it is much more dynamic. The employees have to be kept updated with the same. Fourthly, the human resource manager will also have to decide on the wages and the other incentives, meaning to say they will have to decide the pay structure as to how and what the wages have to be paid for the respective job. When we talk about incentives, it is something over and above the wages that the employees receive. So here we had understood few topics, if you remember, such as job evaluation, job specification, job descriptions. So every job needs to be evaluated. And once evaluated, we can know the net worth of the job based on which the wages can be decided. Because it is very common to you that the wages of every profession or every job is different. You cannot expect the wages of an employee and the wages of a manager or a supervisor or a top level authority to be the same. They have to be different because it is based on the job that they perform. It could also be providing the service activities. So we had discussed that it could be the housing facilities given, could be some welfare facility given for the family of the employee, some educational facilities, the quality of work life can be improved, etc. Next, we had talked about these functions of HRM, that is to work for collective bargaining and employees representation. So it was where the manager would also at time have to negotiate with the employees. It may happen that employees have their complaints, they have some needs that needs to be heard and satisfied. So HRM plays an important role for the same. Also, the career has to be planned. So the human resource manager will also have to work for providing a meaningful career to the employee, meaningful career path to be decided. They could be encouraged how they can move on to higher positions in the organization, because that is how you can keep them sustained and retained in your organization. Development of personnel. So as we studied that there has to be training and executive development to take place so that they remain trained, their skills, their abilities remain update with the changing environment. The quality of work life has to be paid attention to, where good working conditions have to be given, their health and safety has to be considered. So once they are given good working life, good working conditions, they stay more motivated and encouraged to work for the organization. Lastly, one needs to develop a good company culture also that includes the positive environment, the ethics to be followed, some rules and regulations to be followed, discipline to be maintained. So this kind of culture needs to be developed by HRM and needs to be followed by the employees. So these were few functions that needs to be performed by a human resource manager. So this was all about what we have studied up till now in the previous lecture. I hope those who failed to attend the lecture have got an overview of whatever we discussed. And I would also be sharing the notes of the chapter because it is a new chapter, newly introduced for the semester. So I shall be giving you the notes once we are done with the unit. It would be shared to you in the Google Classroom. Now, let us begin with the new topic that we have to do for the day. It talks on the roles of human resource manager. We are going to study as to what are the different roles that the human resource manager has to perform in an organization. While he's performing human resource management, these are few roles that he will be performing. Where you see, number one, he has to perform the role of a specialist. See, we are going to study each and every role today in depth, but I would first show you the list of few roles that a human resource manager will be performing. So number one, as you see, he needs to perform the role of a specialist, an expert body working in the organization. So being an expert or being a specialist, what all he has to do, we shall be studying in the lecture. Number two, he also has to perform the role of a counselor. When I say counselor, he needs to give his advices, he needs to give his suggestions and counsel for the problems faced by the employee. So again, we would be studying that. Number three, performing the role of an information source. He needs to perform the source of information where he can supply the information required in the organization and to the people working therein. He also needs to perform the role of a change agent. When I say change agent, we know that the business is operating in a dynamic and a complex environment. We feel changes taking place every now and then. And those changes, how to be brought in the organization or how the organization can adapt to the same. For that, human resource manager plays the role of a change agent. Next, he also performs the role of a controller, how he controls the implementation of whatever we discussed up till now. Number six, very important, where he performs the role of a liaison officer or even known as a mediator, how he becomes the middleman or a link between the organization and its employees. And lastly, also the role of a problem solver, as to how he helps to solve the problems not only faced by the organization but also by its employees. So I hope you have got a review of the different roles that have to be performed by the human resource manager. Let us discuss them one by one. So the first role of HRM is the role of a specialist, that is a special body, an expert body who is working in the organization, counseling the people, giving his advices and suggestions. So human resource manager, as I said, also has to perform the role of an expert, a specialist, where he is advising the heads of different functional departments on various aspects of human resource management. Now, I want you to draw your attention to the words functional department. See, an organization has number of departments functioning. I hope you are aware about it. It could be the production department, it could be the marketing department, it could be the department which is running for HR that we already know, human resource department, could be the financial department. So there are a number of functional departments. But as a human resource manager, he can advise the departmental heads on various aspects of HRM. And what are those aspects? So we have been studying it from the very first lecture. It could be human resource planning. It could be working for the recruitment of people. When I say recruitment, we are talking about the scientific recruitment. Thereafter, selecting them, giving them orientation, training them, that is developing their skills, appraising them, that is evaluating their performance, taking feedbacks, or also to decide about the compensation. So with his advice and with his suggestions, the functional managers can perform the activities very successfully. He should provide the information, suggestions, and assistance in such a way that it becomes a source of help to the managers. Thereby, he can earn their confidence and goodwill. So this was your first role where he can counsel, he can advise, and he can work as a specialist where he is giving idea to the different functional heads about different matters and aspects of human resource management. So I hope you are clear with the first role of human resource manager. Let us move to the second role, that is as a counselor. Now, you might have heard the word counselor. Generally, counselors are those people where we can go, we can present our problems that we are facing, and the person would, with his knowledge and experience, give us the solutions for the same. Similarly, even in an organization, the management may be facing few problems. There would be problems that are faced by individual employees. So for the same, advice or suggestions can be given by the human resource manager. So he acts as a counselor also. The employees who are dissatisfied with the present job approach, the human resource manager for counseling. If there are some employees who are dissatisfied, employees may have number of things where they are dissatisfied, or there are some needs of human resource also, for which they can approach the human resource manager, and the manager can counsel them, can provide a listening ear to them, and thereby hearing their complaints, he can come up with the solutions and the suggestions for the same. The problems could be number of, it could be any sort of a material problem, health, that is the physical, the mental health of the employee. It could be also a personal problem, that could be the child's education, marriage, or any family problem, family dispute. Even the career of an employee could be a problem for him if he is not able to understand as to how he can move forward in his career. Even in his job, he may have some sort of problems for which he can approach the human resource manager. And the manager, by playing the role of a counselor, can advise them, can give them the suggestions. So the manager would counsel the employees, give them the suggestions to solve or to overcome the problem. So we have studied the role of manager as a specialist and as a counselor. Number three, it is the role as an information source. Now we discussed earlier also that the environment is ever changing. When I say we live in a dynamic environment and when we see so many things, changes taking place here and there, a simple example could be the technology as well. So as a human resource manager, he needs to understand what are the changes going on and thereby collect the information for the same. He should be aware about the things, he should have the information pertaining to those things and should be able to provide the information in the organization. So then the question comes, what kind of information are we talking about? So we are talking about any piece of valuable information such as the labor market, the labor laws or other related areas. Meaning to say, if there is any change being brought about in the labor market or in the aspects pertaining to human resource, he should be able to know them, grab or collect the information and provide the same in the organization as well. So why it has to be provided? So that the necessary policies and procedures can be formulated about the human resource. When there is a change taken place, when there is some information about change in the aspects of human resource, it also has to be brought in the organization, which will be done by the human resource manager. So he serves as a record keeper and a researcher to provide the required information. As a researcher, he is going to search for such changes and information, and as a record keeper, he would bring those information and communicate them in the organization. So I hope you are clear with the human resource manager's role of a specialist, a counselor, and now even as a source of information. So moving further, it is the fourth role, that is as a change agent. We just talked about how changes are taking place in the external environment. You might have heard about the micro and the macro factors. To name a few, it could be the political factors, the economic factors, the technological factors, the legal factors, the social factors, and whatnot. So there are a number of changes that are taking place in the environment. And if an organization does not keep up with those changes, does not adapt to those changes, definitely in the near future, it will be difficult to survive in the market as well. Ultimately, the company or the organization will get outdated, will get obsolete, and will move out of the market. And that is not a situation that anyone would want. So as a human resource manager, he also has to play the role of a change agent, where he can look for the changes taking place and thereby bring those changes internally in the organization also. So please have a look. The human resource manager can serve as an internal change agent. Why internal? Because we need to bring changes internally in the organization due to the changes taking place in the external environment. So he would be initiating, leading the necessary improvements in the human resource practices. As a consultant, as we know, he can also provide the necessary infrastructure and support for the organizational development. And lastly, very important, he will introduce and implement major institutional changes in the organization. Not only introducing, but also implementing the same. He is an innovator. Why innovator? Because already what is existing in the organization, as a human resource manager, he can bring changes in that. He can innovate something new. So as I said, lastly, it is mentioned that he needs to be familiar with the changing environment of the organization. I hope you are getting my point up till now. The fifth role of the human resource manager, it is the role of a controller. Now students, in management, you might have heard about the function of management, that is controlling. What did you mean by that? Controlling was actually making a comparison. Comparison between what? So between the standards that were laid down and the actual that was performed. Let us say there was a standard given by the management to produce 1,000 units, but actually only 500 were produced. So we have to compare it, and then we have to find out the deviation, the difference. That is the gap of 500 units that was not produced. So as a controller, one had to take the remedial steps, the remedial actions, so that the standards and actuals come into balance, come into conformity. Similarly, even over here, the human resource manager needs to perform the role of a controller, where he will have to see that the human resource practices that have been introduced, to name a few, such as the scientific recruitment, selection, retaining the employees, developing the employees, giving them training, giving them good quality of work life, etc., are actually implemented or not. So, as a controller, he will see to it that what has been set, what has been standardized, it's actually what is performed or not. So, he will assist the line managers in the effective implementation of the human resource policies and programs, because his advice is essential for monitoring and controlling the progress. He will not only supervise and monitor, but he will also control the progress to see whether what was laid down is implemented or not. So he would also ensure that the policies and procedures laid are approved and adopted by the management, being consistently carried out in all the departments. So he will also have to keep an eye on the different departments of the organization to see that whatever HRM practices have been laid down are actually implemented or not. If not, then he can work for it and he can take the corrective steps for the same. Number 6, very important role that has to be performed by the human resource manager. So it is the role of a liaison officer or a mediator. Now, we know that in an organization, there is the top level authority. We have the management in the organization, and we also have the employees working. So there is always a gap between the two. That is a gap between the organization and the gap between the employees. As a human resource manager, he can become the link, he can become the connect or a mediator between the two, that is the organization and the employees. So the question is, why should he become a link? So employees may have number of needs or few complaints that they want to put forward the management, which they cannot due to several reasons. So as a human resource manager, he can become a link between the two, where both can communicate their ideas, their opinions freely. So as I said, he becomes a linking pin between different departments of an organization. He can also be a peacemaker. So not only he is linking different departments together, but also he can settle for the disputes, if any, between the employees and the management. As I said, there could be complaints from both the sides. And in case it takes form of a dispute, the human resource manager can settle the same. So he acts as a liaison and a communication link between both of them. So I hope you are clear with the word liaison, also known as a mediator. Moving to the last but not the least role of human resource manager, it is the role of a problem solver. By now you are already clear how human resource manager functions in an organization. So one of the functions is also to solve the problems that are prevailing in the organization. Not only the organizational problems, but also the personal problems of an employee. So he acts as a problem solver with respect to the issue that involves HRM and overall long-range organizational planning. That is to say, both the organization and the employee is taken care of, the problems are solved, but the problem could be due to the HRM issue or could be the organizational issue, but can be solved by the human resource manager. He also can act as a shock absorber, that is a management's defense against the trade union activists. You might have heard the word trade union. Workers in an organization frame trade union where they can collectively bargain with the management. When I say collectively bargain, it means to present their needs and complaints before the organization collectively. So when such a situation takes place, and if it becomes a dispute or it becomes a conflict between the two, that is between the management and the employees, the human resource manager can become a problem solver. He can act as a shock absorber and sometimes can also work in the defense of management against the trade union activists. So these were the roles, the different roles that are performed by the human resource manager. A quick recap. So we have discussed about the first chapter, we revised the topics we had already done, and thereafter we started with a new topic pertaining to the roles of human resource manager as a problem solver, as a liaison officer or a mediator, as a controller, as a change agent, as an information source, as a counselor, also as a specialist. So I hope you are clear with what we have studied today. And in case you have any doubts pertaining to the lecture, pertaining to the topics, you can always comment the doubts. You can put them in the Google Classroom of your respective class, and I shall be answering them at the earliest. Also, I would be sharing the notes, as I said earlier, in the Google Classroom itself. Once we are done with the first unit, you will get the notes in the same that you will have to prepare for your exams. See you soon in the next lecture where we would move further in the first unit of human resource management. Thank you so much for the day. Until then, happy learning.